see you're joining, a couple people are joining the meeting already. As you drop, please introduce yourself in the comment section. Let's get to know where you're joining us from. Let's know where you're joining us from. You're all welcome. Welcome to the Open Day event. So nice to meet you. Welcome to those of you joining us from Ghana, South Africa, Egypt, Kenya, Nigeria. Oh, Olasubomi was the first to comment. Hello, Olasubomi from Lagos, Ruth from Nigeria. Cynthia, you're all welcome to the Open Day event. We're so glad to have you join us. And for those of you that are joining from outside countries that are outside the 5 pilot countries from 2021, it will be good to know where you're joining us from. Elizabeth from Nigeria, Mary from South Africa. Hello, you're welcome to the Open Day event. Hi, Debbie from Lagos. I'll just try and just give shout outs to people. Hey, Messi Mpangala from Tanzania. It's so good to have you join us. Hi, Mary from Rivers. I see someone from Egypt. Nomfundo from South Africa. Nice. Keep it coming, ladies. Sharon from Kenya. How are you today? I hope you're all well and we're so excited. Caroline from Akure, Olawi from Nigeria, Victoria from River State, Nigeria. You are all welcome to the Open Day edition. This is the 12th edition of the Open Day event, and this is organized by Tech4Dev. Welcome, Ramat. Welcome, welcome, welcome to every one of you. I may not have the opportunity to welcome you individually, but I welcome you collectively, and we're so happy to have you join us today. You're welcome. This Open Day event is organized by Tech4Dev. Tech4Dev is a non-profit organization that uses technology to tackle the issue of unemployment and foster financial freedom in Africa. We create access to decent work and entrepreneurship opportunities and platforms for Africans through digital skills empowerment and advocacy. The Women Techsters Initiative is one of our flagship programs, and we have the goal to bridge the digital knowledge divide between men and women and secure equal opportunities for women through this initiative. As you go further into the event, I'd love for you to tweet the nuggets you learn, because you'll be learning a lot on this call using the hashtag Women Techsters Open Day and tag Tech4Dev on social media. Women Techsters Open Day, hashtag and tag Tech4Dev on all social media platforms. So you're all welcome. To take us further into the event, I'll be handing over to our executive director, the person of Oladumura Oladipo. She'll be giving a welcome address, and then you'll see my face next. Thank you. Hi, Deborah. I'm handing over to you now.
Hi, Joy. Thank you very much. Can you hear me loud and clear?
Yes, I can hear you. Please go ahead.
Okay, great. Thank you so much, Joy. I'm super excited to be here today. I mean, just seeing like the wonderful ladies who are here for the Open Day. So I would like to start by saying a big and a huge welcome to everyone, and thanking you all for joining the February 2022 edition of our virtual Women Techsters Open Day program. And this is our second Open Day program in the year 2022. We're super excited and elated to have you wonderful women from across Africa join us today to learn about how to pursue your interest in technology. I would especially like to welcome the prospective Women Techsters Fellows who have joined us today to learn about starting a career in tech through our Women Techsters Fellowship. It's amazing to see how much traction we've gained with the applications over the last 48 hours, as we already have over 3,100 applications in less than 48 hours. Interesting, right? And with a lot more people who are wanting to start their applications. We're super excited again. And we see you all, and we are rooting for you to get selected. So I'll go over to just tell you a bit about Tech4Dev. So Tech4Dev is a non-profit organization that creates access to decent work and entrepreneurship opportunities and platforms for Africans through digital skills and technology skills empowerment and advocacy. Our vision is to equip Africans with digital and life skills that foster economic prosperity, financial freedom, and sustainable development. Women Techsters, which is the reason why we are here, is an initiative of Tech4Dev in partnership with Microsoft that aims to bridge the digital divide between men and women in the technology ecosystem. Through our pilot program, Nigerian Women Techsters, we enabled almost 3,000 women between the ages of 16 to 40 across Nigeria. And we did this to ignite their interest in pursuing careers and starting businesses in technology. Driven by the success story of numerous women on the program, of which some of these women will showcase them today, we carved a new ambition and dream to replicate this model across Africa, providing more women access to opportunities to launch careers and businesses in technology. Our grand dream by 2030 is to reach 5 million women in Africa by empowering them with the knowledge and skills to partake in the technology industry in Africa and the world at large. We believe that empowering change for women across Africa, as well as providing them opportunities to access employment and entrepreneurship, will help achieve a 50 to 50 male to female ratio balance within the technology space. The Women Techsters Open Day is a monthly virtual program organized for women across Africa to learn about leveraging the power of technology to start and advance their careers, and also create technology and technology-enabled businesses. The Open Day is an opportunity for women to interact with other successful women that are on the call today as well, who have built careers or businesses in technology over the years, and who will share their personal experiences, speak about possible career paths and business opportunities, and help women appreciate the importance of acquiring digital and deep tech skills in this digital age. I would end this without saying that we appreciate Microsoft for collaborating with us to bring this initiative to life, and we look forward to continually impacting and improving the economic realities of women across Africa. I would like to once again appreciate every single lady and woman for being here today as you commence your journey to becoming women in tech, and to say a special thank you to our executive speaker, Kemisola, our industry expert speakers, Anne and Mojolade, and our moderators, Rhoda and Terry, for taking time out of their very busy schedules to share their stories with us and their journeys as women in tech. I look forward to a fruitful and wonderful conversation. I would say a big thank you to everyone once again, and hand over to Joy. So Joy, over to you.
Thank you very much, Deora. Thank you so much for such a wonderful address. So in case you're joining us, that's our beautiful, dutiful, and very understanding Executive Director at Tech for Deaf. And we'll be going forward into the event right now. I see you all dropping your names, introducing yourself in the chat. I see you all. For those of you that are here because of the fellowship application, please stay on the call, because today we'll be answering some questions that may have been on your mind. And those of you that are yet to even apply for the fellowship program, and you may be wondering, well, how do I even start my career into tech? Well, we're going to be having a very interesting, engaging session towards the end of the event, where our program's lead, Blessing Ashi, will be answering some of these questions. Let's say majority of these questions and almost all the questions you have on your mind, and help you understand the process, the how and when and what to do while applying for the fellowship program. So stay tuned for that. To take us further into the event, I'll be playing a video about the fellowship program so that you would have an understanding of what this program is all about. And then we'll continue. Please stay on the call and enjoy the videos. I'll be playing the video. /bit.ly/WT Fellowship 2023. WTF for the fellowship are all in capital letter is on my screen right now. So if you're yet to apply, have it at the back of your mind that you can apply. And it's a free event, and that's one of the reasons why you should apply for the event. Okay, so I'll stop sharing right now, and I'll get that video and play for you. Thank you. Okay, so while I look for my video, and for one reason or the other, I can't get to see it right now, I would call on my colleague to introduce the industry, the next set of speakers. We're going to be having a fireside chat, and I'm calling on Tony Olajide. I know you're ready right now to make the introduction, and then we'll continue. I'll be back with my video. Thank you.
Okay, hello everyone. So once again, I want to say welcome to the 12th edition of the Women Techsters Open Day event. We are so excited to have you all here today. and it's a desire that you'd learn a lot of things on the event today. So today we'll be having two sessions. One session will be the fireside chat, and the other session will be with the industry expert. So briefly, I'll be introducing the executive speaker for the fireside chat to you today, and the moderator for the fireside chat session. So today we'll have in our midst, we are privileged to have in our midst the executive speaker in person of Kemisola Bolarinwa. Kemisola is the founder of Nextwear Technology, and I'll be reading her bio to you briefly. So Bolarinwa is the founder of Nextwear Technology, the first wearable technology startup in Nigeria. She's a robotics and embedded system engineer with exceptional tech skills. Her work in the field of wearable technology is significant. She developed a wearable solution for safety and invented a smart bra that detects the early stages of breast cancer. Kemisola advocates STEM education mainly for the girl child, which is her special passion for bridging the STEM gender gap and attracting young women to choose careers in STEM-related fields. So we'll be privileged to hear Kemisola talk to us today about her journey in tech and where she is currently. And moderating the fireside chat is the person of Rhoda Muno. Rhoda is a Women Techsters Fellowship Facilitator. She facilitates our Women Techsters Fellowship program. She's a cybersecurity engineer with a specialization in application security. She's also a campus ambassador for She Hacks in Kenya, a community of women cyber warriors looking to bridge the skills and gender gap in information security. She's a certified IBM application security engineer and certified secure Android developer using Kotlin. She has led and facilitated cybersecurity skills at Tech for Dev under the Women Techsters program in 2021. She has also trained Steam Labs Africa in Python data analysis. Currently, she's working on a volunteer project geared towards safety emergency application. She's passionate about empowering campus ladies to pursue and gain ground footing in their respective STEM careers, especially in cybersecurity and creating a safe cyber world. So today, Rhoda will be moderating the fireside chat session alongside with, she'll be talking and be asking questions to Kemisola Bolarinwa. Stay good, and we hope that you enjoy this session. So Joy, over to you. I hope you're ready with your video now.
Finally, my video played. So right now, I'm going to be handing over to Rhoda Momo and Kemisola for the fireside chat, and then we'll come again. Remember, I said I was going to be talking about the fellowship program. Just saw a video. Please stay on the call because it's important, because you're going to be learning a lot and learn about a lot of information. So Rhoda, over to you right now. Thank you.
Oh, thank you very much, Joy, Toyin, and Diora. It's quite a pleasure. It's absolutely a pleasure and delight to be here, just to say before we start, and also to our executive Kemisola speaker. So I just want to put it up front that I celebrate you, and I'm really honored to having this conversation with you, or this fireside chat before we start. So I think your life is really an amazing journey and a career so far that we can really aspire or borrow a lot from, and it can be our playbook as women who are maybe already in tech or those who are aspiring to be in tech. So hello, Miss Kemisola, hopefully you are there. How are you? Hello, Kemisola.
Hello?
Yeah, how are you?
Can you hear me? I'm fine, thank you.
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
I lost to the, I think the internet got distracted. Yeah. Okay.
No problem. So I'm very excited. Hopefully we can have a very good conversation. So we are eager to hear your story behind now the inventing the first wearable technology in Nigeria that detects the highest stages of breast cancer. So since I'm so sure you have a lot, being an inventor, not just an inventor in robotic engineering, an innovator. So we'd like to hear more about the story behind now Smart Bra. What led you to this innovative solution? And how did it begin?
Okay. Thank you for having me again. My name is Bolariwa Kebisola, and I'm the founder CEO of Nestway Technology. And what we do in Nestway is we are the first wearable technology startup in Nigeria. We design and develop technology workflows to the body by embedding programmable electronics and sensors including, to solve health-related issues, to solve insecurity, for communication, and to also augment fashion. Like now, we're now bringing technology into fashion, African fashion, so to speak. So that is what we do in Nestway Technology. And our Smart Bra, hope you can hear me.
Yeah, clear. We can hear you. Hello? Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, good. So what actually brought about the Smart Bra device? We've been on it since 2019. The research has been on since 2019. But what actually inspired me is July 2017 to be precise. No, she died of this cancer and at stage 3. Then. And before she died, I do visit her often at the University Teaching Hospital, Ibadan, where she was admitted, where she's being treated. In a ward, I met all the women of different age group, even teenagers. That's the worst part of it. Teenagers were there too, groaning in pains, going through this pain of breast cancer. And it's kind of an horrible experience for me, because then whenever I just close my eyes, just imagine myself, am I going to have this cancer too? Breast cancer, because even a teenager too. And this cancer, breast cancer it doesn't care about your status, if you're rich, if you're poor. No, it doesn't care about that. It doesn't even care about your way of life. Some said, maybe it's people that smoke, that drink alcohol or something. No, it doesn't care about that. So I met with an oncologist then in the hospital, and I discussed with him about, okay, is there any prevention? Is there any cure to this? Is there anything we can do to prevent women from getting this breast cancer? Is there any cure and all that? And he told me something which I hold on to, that if the cancer can be detected at early stage, it can be cured in even 9 out of 10 cases. I hold on to that. So we talk about breast self-examine. Okay, if you can check yourself regularly. And the thing that we use now, the technology in existence for checking breast cancer is mammogram, and mammogram uses radiation. It's not really advisable for women to subject themselves regularly to mammogram because it kills body tissue. So it's not a good option. Another option is ultrasound. Cost effective. It's not something you can be going for every week or every 2 days to check yourself using ultrasound. So coming to 2019, when we started the research, we have to look at the existing technology we have, and we have to know, okay, this is what is good, how we can help women. That is just the idea behind it. How we can help women to check their status right in the comfort of their home. Instead of them going for mammogram, instead of them going for ultrasound, because not everybody have the access to all this technology that we're saying. Not everyone have access. Coming down to this part of the world, Africa to be precise, all this technology are not that there, accessible for people to use. So why can't you just come up with something that they can use right in their home? They can check their status, know their status. So that's all the idea behind the Smart Bra device.
Oh, wow. Great. That's great. I think that's quite impressive. So because you have mentioned that you, just before you started maybe getting into the robotics, I'm so sure from our audience, someone would like to know whether it's something maybe you knew you will get into robotic engineering because you have a background in electrical engineering. Maybe you can take us back and give us an overview of where you decided, okay, now I'm going to STEM, I'm going to stick there. Yeah.
Okay, fine. All journey started from my secondary school. Back then in secondary school, I love STEM. When it comes to mathematics, physics, chemistry, I'm very good at that in secondary school. So I've this passion for it right from secondary school to be an innovator. So I joined in secondary school. Then I joined this club. There's a club there, and I don't know, maybe it's still existing. It's called JETS. That is Junior Engineering Technician Science. So I joined the club. That club actually exposed me to more of hands-on and some practicals, than paperwork. What we have in Africa is paperwork. Everything is taught on board. But now when I joined the club, I can lay my hands on something. All those laws you have in physics, Ohm's law and all that, I can lay my hands on them. I can see the real life application of all this thing we've been taught in schools.
Hello, Kimi. Kemisola, we lost you a bit.
I can hear you.
Oh, maybe
Okay,
it
can you
was
hear me?
on my. Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay. So the passion up there right from my secondary school, it has been there. So what deepened it is the hands-on that I was exposed to when I joined the JETS club. I was able to apply everything we were taught in physics, all the things we were taught in mathematics, the one we were taught in chemistry. And I was able to apply it and see the real life application. So that actually deepened my interest. And when I graduated school, I got an admission into the university and I studied electrical electronics. So, our university here, how it works. But anyway, we still get the knowledge from there. So when I graduated, I ventured into robotics. But I can tell you, my robotics, it was a self-learning. I do tell people, they were like, at first when I tell them my robotics, and they were like, oh, one university in the US or one university in India. No, it was self-learning. I trained myself at my own space. So that's how I got into robotics. And robotics led me into wearable technology, the field where I am right now. Bringing electronics and putting them on clothing to solve some issues. So that's how I find myself right here in wearable technology and in robotics.
Oh, wow. I mean, maybe hopefully some of our audiences, please try take notes. And also maybe if you have any question, please don't hesitate. I'm also taking notes on how Kemisela, you have, I think one of the things that I can concur maybe from your story so far is being self-driven is also a factor when it comes now to in STEM. Also being a lady, you have to be self-driven. You have to have maybe a goal somewhere towards something and stick to it.
Yeah.
So maybe based on the experience so far, also maybe being for you, I'm so sure you are an advocate for STEM education. Maybe you can highlight for us some of the most successful factors or skills that ladies who are trying now to join into this tech field they should consider. And also, yeah, maybe you highlight first that.
Okay. I would say, if as a lady, because we have when it comes to STEM, there's a gender gap there. In STEM, everybody believes it's meant for boys or it's meant for women, men, so to speak. What I would say is the first thing is to believe in yourself. Because in my advocacy, I do mostly with schools. In my advocacy, I've met with some girls and having issue with their teachers, especially math teachers. They don't encourage them. Oh, you cannot know it. This algebra, I know you cannot know. All those things. It makes those girls, lose interest in other courses. So if you believe in yourself, that was what happened to me actually. When I was in secondary school, the same thing happened. Our math teacher had been brutal. You see few grades when it's time for us to have mathematics, you see people running as a skater. No, scared of attended the class. But for the fact that I believe in myself, I believe that, I can do this and I can do it. I started even offering mathematics. I offered further maths there. I think I was, okay, we have just 2 or 3 offering further mathematics out of 56 girls there. So first thing is for you to believe in your ability. And that has actually kept me going. You have
Hello, Kemi. Hello, Kemi. Kemi.
I can hear you.
Yeah, so I don't know if it's on my
head. I can hear you. It's from your hands.
Oh, okay. Sorry for that. I lost you for a minute on the last touch point. I don't. Okay. Then let's going on. Maybe I don't know if how would you say maybe something to do with mentorship, because I believe most of the things maybe for ladies trying to join tech, well, we are always encouraged to have mentorship. What can you say about mentorship for anyone maybe who is aspiring to join STEM? Should
Please,
they
can you
search for? I was.
Oh,
Okay,
it's
hopefully
freezing.
now you
it's
can
freezing.
hear me. Oh, on my end.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I was asking maybe what on your say, or when it comes to mentorship in STEM, is it something that you would advocate for?
Hello?
Hello.
You're freezing. I could barely hear you.
Hello, Kemi, can you hear us? Can you hear me at least?
Yeah, I can hear you clearly. Yes, I can. I can hear
Oh,
that.
okay, so I think it's just like a break in transmission from the network. So the last question was about mentorship. What do you say? How does mentorship play a role in the inflow of women into tech? The role of mentorship.
Yes. That's a very good question. Mentorship actually play a vital role when it comes to tech, even any profession. You need someone to look up to. You need a role model. You need someone to mentor. You need someone to guide you through the journey. So it's very, very, very important for girls, for young women, to go for a mentorship section. You can look up to someone. That's why we have role models there that you can walk through their path and say, oh, this person is my role model. I think that will also motivate you in this journey of STEM or the journey of technology. So I actually believe much in a mentorship. Yes, I believe that it plays a vital role.
Thank you. So I think I would like to ask a connected question while Rhoda tries to rejoin the meeting. So where can we find mentors? Where can ladies find mentors? How do they get started? Hello, Kemi, did you hear me?
Come again.
I said, where can women find these mentors that you spoke about? Where can they find them?
Well, I wouldn't say there's a particular place where you can find a mentor. Fine.
Okay.
You can look for a role model around you, someone that you can approach, someone that you can talk to, someone that think, in the field of tech or whatever field you are, you think, someone, this person is someone I can look up to. You can approach the person, and I'm very sure it's there, able there to guide you. And there's a mentorship program going on there. You come across them online, mentorship program and all that. Fine, if you're able to get that, you can also, apply for it. But majorly it's for you to look for a role model in the field at which you're venturing into and get a mentor and approach the person and tell what you feel about and what you need. You need a guide, you need her, to put you through the journey in of tech. So that's, I think, is the best way to get a mentor. In getting a mentor, getting a role model, it's fine.
Thank you so much, Kemi. So, like, if I hear you say that there's it also lies on the person seeking for mentorship to look for a role model. Don't wait until, and there's no particular place you can find a mentor. You don't wait until the mentor drops or comes to you to mentor. It doesn't happen that way, right? You do the approaching, you do the finding.
Yes.
Thank you. So I see Rhoda is back.
Yes.
And there are some questions on the Q&A. So Rhoda, are you ready to continue?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think, I'm sorry, I had a glitch on with my network.
Yeah,
but I
fine.
believe now okay. So I believe now I'm quite audible.
Yeah,
So
thanks.
thank you very much for taking over, Joy. And Kemisola, I also I lighted on the mentorship part. Thank you very much for your generous feedback. So moving on, maybe now go maybe to an aspect whereby we have an audience or someone who is already in a business and they want to have maybe a tech-related business. So maybe you can highlight for us some of the like successful factors, because you as a CEO of a tech-related company, Nextware, maybe you can give them some of the success factors in that field.
Hello, Rhoda, can you hear me? Hello?
Yeah, I can hear you. Hello, Kemi.
Okay. Can you take the question again?
Oh, yeah, okay. I was asking maybe from a person who is now aspiring to come up with maybe a tech-related business, some of the successful factors or some of the factors they can follow to be successful in that kind of a business, just as you run Nextware.
Okay, very good. If you're taking venturing into tech business, I want to say this is not a must. You have a tech background before you could apply tech in your business. I must say this. It's not a must you have a tech background, or maybe you're a scientist, or you study engineering, you learn how to code before you could apply tech in your business. But I will say regarding that it's better you have the basic knowledge, the fundamental knowledge, to organize your business yourself. So when you're bringing in those experts, you'll be able to relate with them. So that's a part. So if you are coming up with a career in tech, the first thing for us is to look for where you can get this incubation, where you can go for an incubation program. It's very, very, very important. At first, let me talk about my journey. I have the tech skill. I'm from a tech team, but the entrepreneurship, because we call that entrepreneur, now you're going into business, that is entrepreneurship. I have the spirit, but I don't even know anything about it. I don't know anything about the business, turning the tech I have, the skill I have, turning it into a business. I don't know. I can remember my first product, that is the necklace, the smart necklace that is embedded with the GPS tracker. No, I have the idea. Well, that's the problem. There's an insecurity in the country. Okay, let me come up with something that can help with the insecurity. I came up with a necklace. But how do I sell it? How will I monetize it? That's another part. So far, so good. When it comes to the marketing, we are lagging behind. Then, until I went further for an incubation program, entrepreneurship incubation program. Go for an accelerator program. So it's very, very good if you're going into business. I said you're having that skill, you have to go, get more knowledge, acquire more knowledge in entrepreneurship. It's very, because this is business. You just mentioned a business. It's business. So you have to acquire more knowledge in entrepreneurship. It's very, very important. Go for trainings, incubation training, accelerator training out there for women, for girls, and order to assist us, please. It's very important, very, very important.
Oh, yeah, thank you very much. I believe also being able, like different skill sets, they build have a whole career. So even I'm so sure some people maybe they might be running business in other careers. Tech, I believe it's wide, and if you have to borrow into tech, just as Kemisola said, I believe it's also good for the incubation, because they really do help a lot. All right, so now based on your story, maybe
Hello?
I like ask. Hello. I don't know why I am break. Hello.
Hello?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Hello?
Hello, I can hear you, Kemi. Hello, Kemi.
So Rhoda, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, Joy.
I can actually hear the both of you, but Kemi, can you hear me? Kemi, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Yes, I can hear you.
That's fine. I think I should be the third man in the fire. It's really getting interesting, and I'll just keep engaging the both of you at this point right now, since you can hear me and Rhoda can hear me. So I think I would like to take some questions from the Q&A because it's actually buzzing. There are some questions going on there. So Kemi, the ones I cannot take, you could later go answer them live on the call. But the first question I see here is from Victoria Njoko. She says, is it possible to work in both AI and robotics? If yes, what route do you advise she goes through? Kemi, that question was to you. Hi, Kemi, can you hear me?
Okay, come again, Joy.
Also, Victoria is asking if it's possible for her to work in both artificial intelligence and robotics. If yes, what routes do you advise that she goes through?
Yeah, okay, yeah, that's a very good question. Yes, the two go hand in hand, that goes hand in hand, robotics, artificial intelligence. Fine, you have your robots, you've already trained, you've programmed it, but you want the robot, you want to imbibe some features, you want to like the word artificial intelligence, you want some features, some function. Yeah, it's possible, it's robots. So you can imbibe it in it. It's a robot and it's also already automated. So you can imbibe your artificial intelligence in it. They all go hand in hand. Robotics, automation, AI. We have them together. So you can bring the two together. You can't even escape that. If you're learning robotics, there's no how. You will not get yourself into artificial intelligence. Yes.
Okay, so Ramatulahi is asking, this question is directed to Nextware Technology. If the wearable bra has any side effects? Hi, Kemi.
Yeah, okay.
Wearable bra, do they have any side effects?
Okay. No, I would say no, but I would not say 100% because there's no technology that will not come with some. No, I can call it side effects, but they'll have their own deficiency too. But I would say the efficiency, the advantage or will be like let me say 97 or 98%. So the smart bra device actually uses a safe technology. It uses ultrasound. Hope you can hear me.
Yeah, I can.
Can you hear me, please?
Yes, please go ahead.
Okay. We utilize this ultrasound technology for the development of the smart bra. We have a mammogram there, which we did not even go through because of the radiation. So we use ultrasound, and according to World Health Organization, ultrasound is a safe technology for human. It doesn't damage the body tissue, it doesn't use radiation. So it is safe. And we use nanotechnology. And nanotechnology is 97 to 98% safe for human. We use nanotechnology all through.
Okay. Thank you very much for that answer. So Fidelma wants to know if it's possible for someone who doesn't have a tech background to excel in tech, considering how the world is becoming a tech society. So how possible is it for someone without a tech background to excel?
Come again?
Is it possible for someone who doesn't have a tech background to excel in tech, considering how the world is becoming a tech society?
Yes, definitely. It's not too late. Yes, definitely. Yes, absolutely. You can. It's not enough to have a tech background before you venture into tech. Yeah. Okay. Yes. It doesn't matter if you have the background or not before you can venture into it. No. I've mentioned it earlier. Depending on the business, every business needs technology. It's just for you to have the basic knowledge. Just have the knowledge, have the fundamental knowledge of it. So you do not get lost. When you bring in your experts, you don't get lost. When they're speaking, you don't get dribbled, you don't get cheated. So it's better for you to have a basic knowledge of what you are into, of tech, if not general tech, at least the field you're going into, what you'll be, the tools you'll be using. It's better you have the basic knowledge of it. So it's not a must you study engineering or you study anything related to tech before you could work in that part. And it's never too late, even though you're 50, it's never too late for you to go into tech.
Thank you very much for the response. It's never too late to go into tech.
Hello, Joy.
So I can hear you. Can you hear me? Hello, I can still hear you. Hello, Kemi.
Yes, I can.
Okay, so I'll take two more questions for time. Rachel is asking, what are the challenges you faced while in the process of building your smart bra solution, and how did you overcome them?
Okay, fine. The challenges I faced and that we are still facing is the resources. Getting the resources is difficult. We have to order. We don't have them readily available locally. We have to order for those resources either from Amazon, either from China or whatever. No, the major one is the resources and finance, the funding. We are doing we're doing research and development, and you know what that means. You research and you develop. That is what that is our business model. That is our model. That's a business model. No, we research and develop. So it's very cost. It's cost. If what's it called? It requires more funding when you're going into research, when you're doing more development. When it comes to hardware, let me put it that way. Now, developing hardware, it's cost intensive. So resources and funding have been a major challenge, and we're still facing it. But fine, we are overcoming it gradually. It's probably the part of the funding we are becoming that. So coming to resources, we are like now partnering with some OEM, to get all those things done at the specific time that we need it. So that's the major challenge we're having: the resources, and the funding.
Okay, so this brings me to the last question. Yes, I can hear you. This brings me to the last live question. So for funding, where can someone who has maybe a solution and want to, launch, where can they raise funds from? And I think, speaking on your experience, how are you able to get started? Hi, Kemi.
I can hear you. That's a very good question. I had your question. Yeah. Getting funding. Oh, that's can be so difficult. In Nigeria, getting funded for your project can be so tough. But we have grants out there. Watch out for grants. So many grants. So many grants. If you're sure of what you have, if you're sure of your product, apply for grants. Hunt for grants. I would say that hunt for grants. It's hardly for you to get an angel investor. I can assure you, getting an angel investor, is win-win thing. It's a risk. Funding a project that we don't even know if it's going to work, or we don't even know the market size, or you understand. So it's better for you to, is it that you bootstrap, maybe from friends and family, then hunt, please. At times you might get tired of applying, because writing application for grants can be so tiring. But don't mind that. Hunt for grants. Grants are there, especially for women. There's so many grants out there for women. Hunt for it. Don't mind the stress of applying, because you might get tired, but just try. Keep pushing. You get the fund.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it, but because of time, I will have to cut short this session. But there are some questions that are in the Q&A. Please help answer them live. Thank you so much, Kemi, for sharing with us, for spending the time.
You're much welcome, Joy. Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. So please help answer the questions live that are on the Q&A session.
Thank you.
I'm going to hand over to Tony now to introduce the second panel session. Before I do, I would like to say that there are some questions on the Q&A that relates to the fellowship program. And I know Kemi spoke about going for an incubation program. And for those of you who want to, you want to start up a tech business, like a tech-enabled business. But like she said, anyone can infuse tech into their business. If you're a business person, you can find a way of infusing tech into your business. But if you want to really venture into founding a tech startup and you have a solution that you are building, you can go for an incubation program. Before you get there, if you are a novice, you're a beginner, don't feel left out. You still have the opportunity to go through the proper training. And we'll shortly talk about the Women Techsters Initiative, the fellowship program, and the different opportunities and how you can access this training, all for free at no cost. You do not have to spend a dime. You need training, first of all, before you start thinking towards, starting a tech-enabled business. So please stay on the call. Do not go anywhere. Do not feel tempted to drop off because it's good to get more interested. And in case you are not taking notes yet, get your pen and paper and start jotting things down here because there's a lot to learn. And we're having a second panel session of industry experts on the call, waiting patiently to share with you from their world of experience. So we'll be handing over to Tony to make the introductions, and then we'll go into that panel session. Thank you. Okay,
thank you so very much, Joy. And thank you to the executive speaker, Kemisola Bolarinwa. It's been an event, an impactful talk so far. And thank you also to Rhoda for the wonderful moderation. So we'll be moving very quickly to the industry experts session. Here we'll be having a session with industry experts, ladies who are currently doing exploits in the tech space. And we have Anna Gital with us here today. She's the lead and co-founder of Leapfrog. Anne has over 5 years experience in tech. She has a wealth of experience in different fields, ranging from computer science, data science, IT, entrepreneurship, and academia. She works in the startup ecosystem, especially with the early stage startups, and she helps them leverage technology and data in advancing and making decisions. Currently, she works as a business intelligence lead at Coon Food Africa. Anne is a lead and co-founder at Leapfrog, a startup that nurtures and challenges young talent to co-create, innovate solutions for businesses and social problems using technology. In academia, Anne has worked for the last 3 years with her alma mater, Carnegie Mellon University. I don't know if I got that right, but it's Carnegie Mellon University, as a programming teaching assistant for graduate student orientation. She's enthusiastic about Web3 technology, and during her free time, you'll find her painting, baking, or dancing. So we'll have Anne here today to answer some of our questions and to also share her experiences. We have Mojola Adegbite. She's a product designer at Patricia Technologies Limited. She'll also be joining the industry expert session. Mojolade is a product designer with a passion to create minimalist designs and usable products that users can easily interact with. She has experience in product design, data-informed design, UX research, and product management. She has a bachelor's and master's degree in philosophy from the University of Ibadan. She switched into tech from academia as a philosophy lecturer. So today we'll be having Mojola Adegbite also on the industry experts chat. And moderating this session is Terry Moltoni. Terry is a Women Techsters Bootcamp facilitator. She's a tech enthusiast in data protection and privacy. She has a BSc in computer science. She's a graduate of Masinde Muliro University of Science and Technology, and she's a Cisco certified network associate. She has previously served as a network security analyst at Protech and a network engineer at Health IT Kenya. She's a cybersecurity bootcamp facilitator at Women Techsters and has taught and mentored and inspired cybersecurity awareness to 76 boosters through 5 cohorts since May 2021. She does freelance work in cybersecurity compliance with the current industry laws and standards, and is a promising budding governance, risk, and compliance professional. She aspires to inspire the society to be conscious of their security in the digital space. So Terry will be moderating this industry expert session. She's speaking with Anne alongside Mojola Ade. Terry, over to you. It's a pleasure to have you here today. So you can take the floor. Thank you.
Thank you, Toyi, for the wonderful introduction, and our lovely guests and speakers for being on the call. Thank you for tuning in. And so I'll just go directly to our guest speaker, who is Anne, and I would like us to tell us about her job and the relevant skills that you need so that you're in the business intelligence field. Anne?
Yeah, thank you so much, Terry. So the question is my job and the relevant skills that you have to be in that field. I'll basically introduce myself again briefly, just to mention that I didn't start my career off as a techie. In fact, earlier on, I was called to university to do a course that was very different, like in agriculture. And it didn't take me long to realize that that wasn't my forte. And I dropped out of university after 1 year and sought scholarships to do computer science. So the job that I do for my 9 to 5, I basically do business intelligence. And what this entails is tapping into my data science background. So what I do is to look into company data. What can you do with this data? What decisions need to be made based on what the data is telling you? And I mostly work with startups that are very early in the development stages to make sure that they start off at the right note by knowing which data that they may need in the future and what they have already. So even when they scale, they're already making use of that data and making data-informed decisions. For 24/7, that's my 9 to 5 engagement, business intelligence and data science. But 24/7, I'm also a co-founder and a lead for an edtech company. And what we do and what I do is to inspire young people who are still in university or fresh graduates to tap into the tech field, like having projects in the industries where they are still in university, so that when they graduate, they already have a portfolio of having done projects with the industry when they were in school. Aside from that, I'm also in academia. Once or twice, 2 months a year, I teach graduate students, like crash courses in programming. So like these are students who are joining master's program. So I teach crash courses in programming. Yeah, that's basically in a nutshell my job. So the skills that you need for such span across so many skills, but mainly for business intelligence, it's mainly being able to look at data and being able to analyze. Mainly I do that by Python, coding, sometimes using tools such as Excel. Yeah, so basically it's having skills in programming and basic like tools like Excel.
Yeah, thanks, Amen. Just a follow-up question. You mentioned that you did not start in agriculture. You did not start in computer science, I mean. You first dived into agriculture, then somewhere along the way you realized that this is not where I would like to be. I would like to be in STEM. So my question is, most of the students find themselves in such a position that you're called to the university, you're called to do a different course, but along the way you realize that this is not where my passion lies. So I'd like to know what were some of the stepping stones that helped you to move into computer science? Because sometimes even people realize it after 4 years down the line, 7 years down the line in medicine, and that's when you're realizing, oh, this wasn't my destined field. So how can you advise such a person?
Wow, I wouldn't say like I had stepping stones or anyone guiding me on the path that I would take. Rather, I blindly jumped into it because I felt deep within myself that earlier, I was 17 when I was dropping out from university, like because I dropped out after a whole year of trying to change my course unsuccessfully. And I jumped out blindly. I didn't have like a mentor to speak to. I didn't have like someone who had done it before me that I knew of. So I just dived in blindly. But later on, I've met people who would love to do what I did. And what I always tell them is, before you make that decision, first question yourself, do you really want to change your path to that other field you want to join? Do you want to transition? Do you have like concrete reasons where you're moving from one career path to the other? And if the answer is yes, do you have someone who's done it before who can guide you, who can hold your hand and tell you, do A, do B, do C? At least have someone who've done it before, and they'll be able to guide you. Also, the third point would be like seeking, like research on what you're jumping into, so that when you move to that other path, you don't regret it. So at least research, have someone who've done it before, and have enough reasons to transition. So yeah, I hope I've answered your question.
Yeah, sure you have. And talking about the transition bit, I'd like to engage Mojolade, and I'd like her to tell us, she was a philosophy lecturer and now she ventured into product design. So my question is, how do you ensure a smooth transition, especially from in two totally different fields, like philosophy to product designing? Mojolade, are you on the call?
Yes, I'm here. Thank you very much. For me, I was literally in search of the next best thing when I stumbled on UI UX design. And I remember I was having a phone conversation with one of my friends, and I just felt at that point in time that there was something more out there for me. And he just mentioned, I don't know if you're interested in anything in tech. And I remember the first thing I told him was, I've always had interest in tech, but I don't think I can do that because I don't have a computer science background. And he was like, no, there are other things, like you can actually get into tech without a computer science degree. And I started researching because he mentioned some courses for me, that some fields for me rather, that's UI UX design. And when I heard design, I was like, oh, I think I want to do design. It was so shocked because it felt like it's something I was supposed to think about. So anyway, after the call, I went online to search for what UI UX design is. Google, YouTube, Medium, those are my go-to places. Like, I love to stay on those places when it comes to research. I familiarized myself with UI UX design. And to me, then it was like, can I do this? Because it's literally something different from what I'm used to. And with the help of people I reach out to, one thing I noticed about people already in the field before you is they're always willing to help, in as much as you're willing to reach out to them. Politely, of course. I mean, you don't go on a platform like LinkedIn and send just hi to someone and expect them to respond to you. No, you go to them with, hello, my name is this. This is what I'm currently doing. This is what I intend to do next. And I would like to get more information or more help from you concerning this. And you will be surprised that people are they're so eager to help people with little or no knowledge about any career in tech. And this made my transition really, really smooth and interesting for me. Though I used to be a warrior, like I worry a lot, like I'm living what seemed to be a short path for me, and I'm going into an uncertainty. Am I going to get a job? If I get a job, will it be a good one? Will I regret this decision? But along the line, with the network of people I was able to garner, I realized that it became not just an interesting journey, it became a smooth ride for me as well, just because I was willing to take their opinions and their guidance as well.
Thanks so much. And I have had that question so many times being a facilitator, where I'm teaching newbies and then they're like, I am coming from the finance and I would like to venture into cybersecurity, then how do I go into it? So what I could pick from you is an aspect of being teachable and being receptive. That is also something that helped you grow. So another question I'd like you to respond to is, what are some factors that helped you gain grounds as a beginner? And what did you have to do so that you position yourself in product design?
For me, first, determination. You have to be determined that this is what you want to do. And like I like to tell people, find out a little bit about this field you're interested in. Do your research. Is this something you're really interested in doing? This way, your passion will be fueled and you'll be determined to actually go the extra mile. Because I was keen on making it work because I was determined, and I really didn't care about the challenges. I took a big risk and I stood by it. Then another thing is the network of people around you. I mean, around me rather. They made it possible for me to have a good pathway to position myself, and I was willing to ask questions, and I was willing to try new things. I was ready to try out whatever suggestions they made for me. as well. Then another thing I did was to take on personal projects, and that helped me to hone my skills because nobody knows it all, and you're not going to be employable even as an intern. Where you're going to intern, they need to see that you're willing to actually commit to this before they can give you the position of an intern. So yeah, those four are my answers.
Thank you, Mojolade, and I hope both stars on the call and ladies on the call are also learning from you. And I'd take you back to Anne, and I'd like to ask her the question of, most of the times when we are getting into entry-level positions, you will find that the job is asking for 2 years experience, yet you're just green from university. You'd like to have a career, or you'd like to position yourself in your career. And how do you advise someone? You have 0 skills and yet the job is asking for 2 years experience, yet it is an entry-level position.
Yeah.
This is in regard to the company that you do have.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you, Terry. So for such a situation, I think the best thing to do is to start early. Once you know what path you are taking, especially let's say you're in your level 300, that's that year, start early, like by applying for internships. If you can't find internship during holidays, volunteer somewhere in the field that you're looking into joining. Also join communities such as this, like Tech for Dev, where you'll get chances and opportunities to practice what you've been learning, do projects with your fellow people at the program. Also, like trying to do side projects so that by the time you're graduating or by the time you're seeking for your first job, you already have a working portfolio. By working portfolio, you don't have to be formally employed by someone so that this is the experience that you gained, but you can easily say, I did project A, and you can demonstrate that. I volunteered in this project, and you can demonstrate that. So please try to start early as when you realize where you're skilled at, and start building your portfolio early. Yeah, in regards to the company that I'm co-founder of, we try to mold young people, especially those who are about to graduate and or those who are freshly from campus, to try and link them up with industry. This is by having them do projects for industry where they're still in university, to give them relevant work experience for when they're ready for that. Yeah, I hope I answered you, Terry.
Yeah, you did. And maybe you could also tell us, when you're doing recruitment for business intelligence role or the data science role, which are some of the attributes that are key for you as a recruiter?
Okay. Aside from, of course, understanding the nitty-gritties of the technical part of it, a big attribute that we look for is like the soft skills. For instance, are you able to communicate what you're working on to someone who is not as technical as you are? And such soft skills are the ones that are moving business out here. You may be able to have excellent products, but if you can't communicate what your product is doing, especially in tech, not many people will buy into the idea. So mainly it's soft skills, because of course, by the time you're applying to a role in tech, you most likely have the know-how of how technical bits of it work, but soft skills come first. Yeah. Another thing is critical thinking. Sorry. The second thing is how you think through problems, critical thinking, and how you approach problems and how you solve it. Yeah.
Maybe you could also mention some of the technical skills that would catapult you into a career in business intelligence as well as data science.
Yes, okay. So I could look at it in different angles. Having a background in computer science may be a plus, but as Jola, they said you don't have to really have that background. What matters is how you've grown through the career that you're building for yourself. So one of the skills that we look out for is, are you able to make sense of data, especially in business intelligence, because you heavily rely on data? Are you able to look at data and kind of have a way of knowing what that data means? Once you're past knowing like what data means, are you able to analyze and report on what you think this data could like add value to a business? So technically is your critical thinking, analysis skills, and a plus would be programming, especially in Python, which is the language most of us are using for creating models and machine learning models. Yeah.
Thank you, Anne. Over to Mojolade. And my question is, how do you keep your skills up to date and remain relevant at work, given the infinite emerging technologies? And as I am asking questions, if you have any questions, you can drop them on the chat. Our guest speakers will be happy to share.
Okay, to answer your question, I try to join specific design groups. I listen to podcasts on design. Sometimes there are different articles online. So I research and read more articles. Then I have a great relationship with some of my design friends that we actually learn at the same time. So I reach out to them when I need a particular information about certain things, and I reach out to my senior colleagues as well. Then I try to take new design courses, and I love to read tech-related blogs. So that's how I try to stay relevant in the field. I hope that answered your question.
Yeah, you have. And there's an observation I have made when we are doing facilitation or in the cybersecurity, in the boot camps for the Women Techsters. One of the flooded fields is product design. And I think sometimes ladies maybe run there thinking that possibly it could be an easier field or it could be welcoming to them. And I would like you to highlight which are some of the challenges that you have faced in the product design field, looking at the industry standards.
Like I said, I came in from philosophy, right? One thing I tell people is no matter the background you're coming from to design, you can actually use the skills you must have gathered from your previous line of work or your previous education. You can actually make use of it in product design. And for me, I was lucky to have a background in fashion design, actually. And that was what made me love product design, because I tried to focus. I pay so much attention to details, and if you're not patient enough, you might miss on certain things. And patience is actually required when it comes to product design, because for you to basically what we do is solve problems, digital problems for users around the world. And for you to be able to solve someone's problem, you need to understand what the problem is. And you need to, when you understand the problem you're trying to solve, that will give you the ability to be able to create a better solution to it. And I know a lot of women love to say, oh, because product design does not require coding, so they will rather go into product design. But another thing, so you realize that in the first 2-3 months, the person that reached out to you saying that they want to learn product design, they've already given up. They find it so rigorous that why does it have to be like this? Why am I doing a lot of research? Why am I trying to interview users? Why am I trying to do a whole lot of things? So like I said, patience is actually a virtue when it comes to product design. And if you have good eye for colors, it's your plus. But if you don't, you can also be a product designer. That way, along the line, as you're evolving, you will learn to understand how to use colors. So many of us see colors as just colors, but when it comes to product design, colors have meanings. I mean, you see blue, you think security, you think you think safety when you see blue. But someone out there, maybe a fashion designer might just see blue. Okay, blue is an elegant color. That's just it for them. But when it comes to product design, everything has its own meaning. Colors have meanings. Icons have meanings. You cannot just put a search icon as a call icon. So, like I said, patience is really a virtue when it comes to product design. And we have male product designers too, and they tend to say, oh, because you're a woman, that's why you understand colors. Don't say it that way. That's a lie. Anybody can actually get to know color if they are ready to learn about it. There are different articles online. Even if you tap on Google and just search for color wheel, you will see different definitions of different colors.
Yeah, in fact, you've mentioned two things. Like, I think maybe one of the reasons that people rush and run into product design is the aspect of coding, because I have had the discussion. I don't want to code. I want to do something that is not difficult. And maybe they think that maybe product design is much easier. But I'm glad that you have shared some of the things that people need to learn. And besides that, also saying that men need to learn colors. I've heard them say time and again, maybe this person cannot differentiate blue and green. And then they just like the excuse of men are colorblind, so forgive them. I think when they come to product design, we will not forgive them. And we will ask them.
The thing is, you have to be careful when it comes to selection of colors in product design.
Yeah.
And I think the reason why so many people try to run away from anything that has to do with coding is because they see it as something that is so hard and they cannot understand it. Trust me, believe me, I've tried a little bit of coding and I enjoyed it. So don't see it as something that is too cumbersome for you or something you can never get. Or some people see it as they see mathematics in secondary school. They don't see it that way. If it's product development that you want to get into, all you need to do is pay serious attention to what you're being taught, do a lot of research, practice a lot. Nobody knows it all. You need to practice a lot. Even me, I still practice some things. Before I can push a product out that this is what I want to push out as my final design, I start from pen and paper. I sketch, I write a lot of things down, document a lot of things. And so this way you realize that the work of the product designer, the product developer, and the product manager kind of intertwines a lot, because we do whatever we do, like the documentation part comes out from the work of the product manager as well. So patience and your ability to learn actually, and always listen, take people's advice, people that are way ahead of in the industry.
Yeah, thank you for that, and thank you for also affirming that the attitude of know it all normally leads to a dead end, especially where you're really emphasizing on the teachable aspect. So back to Anne, and there's someone on the chat who is asking a question, and she says, hi Anne, you mentioned that you are involved in Web3. Could you tell us about how you came about and what is your area of interest when it comes to Web3?
Okay, so Web3. Yeah, so I came to have the interest of Web3. By Web3, what we mean is things to do with beyond internet, things to do with cryptocurrency, which is a wave that has come for the past few years, and decentralized organizations or platforms, all things in that aspect. So I came to have the interest when I was doing my master's. I did a course in Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. I kind of became really interested to know what is this wave where people are actually anonymously, untraceably, and securely interacting with each other across the globe without really having to involve policymakers like governments. So in Web3, what I mainly do is designing NFTs, non-fungible tokens, and trading them on Web3 markets like OpenSea. So aside from my tech, okay, it's still tech, aside from my normal day-to-day work, I find time to also draw, paint, and design online and sell those things in the Web3 platforms. Yeah, I hope I answered that. I didn't know that was captured. I was offline when you mentioned it.
Maybe you can tell us more about your trade, because I'm also interested to learn.
Okay, my trade. As I've mentioned, currently mostly what I do is designing digital art and selling them online. I haven't made much trade with my NFTs yet, but I do that with Ethereum and Solana. People who are familiar with Web3 may know what I mean. And what that means is if you have a wallet and you're connected to the platforms where I sell my items, you can actually own a part of it as yours by either staking for it or buying a piece of it or buying a whole of it. And that way we kind of co-own, or you can co-own with different people my art pieces. Yeah. But we can pick this up, Terry, if you're also there. Maybe we could do some projects together.
Wow, I would be so much glad to join.
Okay.
And I have seen a question here on the chat, and there's someone who is asking that they do 3D creations. What can I do? I think this question is directed to Mojolade.
Sorry, can you repeat that?
I'm interested in 3D creations. What can I do? Or maybe they're trying to ask, like, what can be their contribution to product design while they're doing 3D creations.
Yeah, first off, like I mentioned earlier, if you don't know anything about 3D creation, start from Google, understand the basics about it, what is it about, then you can proceed to say Medium. There are always lots of articles on Medium, and you can go on YouTube, watch lots of YouTube to just get the basic knowledge of it, then search for the closest or any training school that can take you virtually. And there are also courses on Coursera, Udemy, and the like. But like I always say, baby steps first before you start taking all those courses. There are so many videos, so many resources online, and you can get a basic knowledge first. Then you know the type of courses you want to take, because all these courses are they're time sensitive and they're not free. Most of them are not free, especially 3D. 3D courses are not free. So you need to know what you want first so that it won't be a case of you wasting money. And you can reach out to people on LinkedIn. Like I said, approach people with a lot of respect, actually. The way you present yourself matters a lot, especially in the professional field. Professional environment. Reach out to them. Don't just send hi. Tell them, this is where I'm coming from. This is the knowledge. Introduce yourself first, of course. And tell them why you're messaging them and where you are at and where you intend to get to. Just approach them that way, and trust me, they will be willing to help you. And in a situation whereby someone doesn't respond to you, don't take it to heart, because sometimes a lot of people are so busy they don't even get to check their messages. Sometimes you can send them a mail, and if they don't respond, you can then reach out to someone else.
Okay, and maybe another question is on product design. Does it has to do with designs alone?
Product design isn't just about design. Like I said, first, you need to understand, as a product designer, you're trying to solve a problem. You're not just going on Figma or Adobe XD or Sketch to just design. No, the first thing you do is to try to understand the problem on ground first. Then you draft out or sketch out how you're going to approach the problem. So first, understand the problem, how you're going to approach the problem. You can have your pen and paper to always sketch how the interface to look like. Then how you're going to make the experience of the users as seamless as possible, because you don't want to create something that users will always complain about, and maybe out of annoyance or frustration, they will delete the application. And you're not going to be working alone. You're going to be working with developers and product managers. And if you're lucky to work, let's say your first job, you get to work in a team of designers. Do not be shy to actually ask your fellow designers questions. But no man is an island of knowledge. You need people around you to actually improve yourself as well. You need a community, literally. So wherever you find a community of designers, join them. There's always, I think Figma has something like that. There's a Figma community for various designers. And I can see people really dropping messages about product management. So let me just give you a little bit about product management. Just as I explained for product design, that's the same way you can get into product management as well. Find time to do proper research. What is this field? What is it about first? Because I was actually a product designer. I was already working before I found another interest in product design. And what I did was talk to product managers that were in my team. Like, how do you guys go about this? What do you do? How do you do this? When things don't work out this way, how do you go about it? And you ask lots of questions. And I have a background in philosophy, so I'm used to asking so many questions. And I was actually a curious kid. So you have to be curious a lot, because there's actually a lot you don't know. Ask questions. Then when they give you the answers to this, use that knowledge to then go more into the world, get probably a boot camp or a training school or courses online. And like I said, YouTube is very, very resourceful. Don't use it for just playing music or watching movies and the like. You can actually get trained on YouTube, because I actually started with YouTube as well. But now if I look at all the designs I used to make, then I think I'm not the one that, like, I used to shake my, like, I can't believe I'm the one that made this. So just for you to know that I started from the scratch. I knew nothing about product design or product management. And here I am today. So if I can do it, you can also do it, and you can be better than me.
Thank you, Mojolade. Maybe you can be preparing your last remarks, and that answer that Mojolade has given is cutting across, I think, even to the data and to the business intelligence and data science world for transitioning. So you need to be really committed to learning so that you're able to break even into that field. Maybe the last question to Anne, as you also give us your closing remarks. There's someone who has asked, what is the role of Web3 in AI and ML? And what are some of the consequences it will have on tech giants such as Google? And again, there are three questions. The first one, I don't know whether you can still see the chat. The first one is, what is the role of Web3 in AI and ML? The second question is, what are some of the consequences it will have to tech giants such as Google? And is Web3 only about NFTs? And maybe you can mention what NFTs are to those who are hearing it for the first time.
Wow, okay. The role of Web3 in AI.
Web3, yeah.
In AI, yeah. And what effect or what it means to, like, those big companies. I think I'll mention I'll answer the second question first. I hope you all know that Facebook or Meta is also, like, one of the champions with Web3. That is to say, it may or may not have a big effect to these big companies or even smaller companies if and when they also try to jump into the wave and also try to transition with the times. With AI, of course, we have online communities that are very much into Web3. Some of them we've actually been meeting in the metaverse and having interactions and seeing how that will be when everything starts transitioning that way. You'll find that using artificial intelligence, you're able to create existences, online existences that are only linked to your wallet, which means that I can't know that this is Terry Mudhoni personally, but I'll know that this is their virtual existence. And on that realm or that kind of level, which is Web3, you're able to even work, create jobs, have a normal life outside of the normal life, which I think is an exciting moment to be in. We may not know where this leads, but the hopes are people will catch on the wave, people will try it out. Of course, we have people in different levels. Some of us are like early adopters. We are curious. We want to see everything. We want to experience it. Of course, you have laggards who we may also join in, but at a later date. But hopes are that at some point we'll all like buy into. Question about NFTs. Web3 is not just about NFTs. Web3 is pretty much across all the spectrums of the normal internet. Only that now things are decentralized. That means we don't have like a central body controlling what everyone is doing. Like I can be here as Anne and you can be there as Terry, and whatever you do doesn't have to affect me, and whatever I do doesn't have to affect you. In Web3, there are things like dApps. dApps are decentralized applications. We have decentralized autonomous companies or organizations, pretty much mimicking what we have in our Web2, which is like the normal internet or web that we have, pretty much mimicking that, but on a Web3 realm. We have technologies like infrastructures like Bitcoin, blockchain, and Ethereum, where all this Web3 lies on and allows you to build onto it. I could maybe invite, I'll share links where you can join communities where we discuss and learn every day, because I am also learning. It's not like I'm an expert in that field. I could share that with you later, maybe on the chat or later on, where you can join communities, where you can learn more, you can get to know, where you can get involved. I've had someone saying that they're designers. We also need designers to design for us houses and billboards for our metaverse existences. Yeah, and of course there are so many jobs that can happen. We are hoping to happen in the metaverse as well. So I'll share some links later on or right now on the chat for anyone interested to join such communities. Okay.
Okay, and maybe in a minute you can just give us your closing remark.
My closing remark, I'll share a quote that has been my mantra for the last many years. Pretty much what makes me make bold moves and jump into whatever I want to do without having to second guess myself. And it's a quote by Johann van Gogh. And it goes, whatever you can do or dream you can, begin it. If you want to do something, just begin it. Boldness has genius, magic, and power in it. So if whatever you think you can do or you're determined to do, just go for it. That boldness will come with genius and magic and power in it, and you're all gonna make it. Yeah.
Wow, thank you. Thank you. Over to Mojolade.
Okay. I like to say that listen a lot, and we're in a fast-growing world now, and even though Web3 is decentralized, you notice everything is fast-paced now. I'm sure so many people will be scared, because I know that feeling. I remember that feeling. Do it scared. It is normal to be afraid. Just make sure you do it scared. You're taking a risk. You're leaving one place to the other. Take that leap. Just make sure that you're ready to put in the work. I mean, I know everybody keeps saying tech is the new oil now. It might be the new oil, but you need to put in the work too. You need to be ready to till the ground till you find that oil, and never give up. Never give up. Every one of us is still trying to find the next big thing, trying to make ends meet out there. So you now starting and saying no, you're ready to give up because it feels so hard. Tell me the best thing out there that is not hard when you start at first. So never give up whatever you do. Just keep pushing, keep getting new ideas, keep making sure you build your personal relationship with outsiders, because you cannot do it alone. You need a community. And I'm so glad there's a platform like this. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Anne and Mojolade. There is a lot to learn from you. And what we can pick from you is that you have taken the risk where you are. You have taken the bold moves so that you're able to reach where you are. And I also appreciate the fact that even though you are in enviable positions to where you are in your careers, you're still encouraging us to keep the fire burning in our learning paths. So to our listeners, keep learning where you are. And someone told me that if you don't evolve in tech, then you'll die. So you need to keep on reading. You have been encouraged to read from articles. You've been encouraged to also join communities, engage, hear from others, be challenged, accept the challenge. And again, don't stand from the point that you know it all. It was a pleasure to moderate this session, and I have also had my share of learning. So back to you, Joy. And to our guest speakers, you can still engage on the chat. There's some questions that went unanswered. You can still respond to them on the chat so that the listeners can also get the answers. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Terry, Anne, and Mojolade. You guys have done a great job. Like, you blew my mind. It was so engaging. And I was also learning, really. I was also learning, and I know that our audience have learned a lot. So please help us drop the links to your social media handle so that they can connect afterwards. Like I said, the first way to make the connections to get a mentor is by attending events like this, our open day events, our monthly events, and it holds every month. Now to the moment that you all have been waiting for. I've been seeing the chat buzzing, asking about the Women Techsters Mentorship Program. Yeah, I am right now, and I'm going to be inviting my colleague, programs lead, the Women Techsters programs lead at Tech for Dev, Blessing Ashi. She's on the call. Blessing, hello. Please turn on your video and come around to take this question. So I've created some questions for her. We have a frequently asked questions. We've created them, and there are some questions that we still see on the chat. We have the next 20 minutes to go over these questions. While our speakers attend to the questions on the Q&A, I'll be engaging with Blessing. Hi, Blessing.
Hi, Joy.
Good day to you. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. How are you doing too?
I'm fine, thank you. So for a start, what's the Women Techsters Fellowship Program? Just tell us about it.
Okay, hello everyone. I'm sure you've been learning. And I mean, before I proceed, I'd like to say thank you to everyone, to our industry experts, to the amazing Kemisola. Thank you so much for coming on board, and thank you for agreeing to do this with us. And yes, to everyone who joined, to all of our first timers, we are glad to have you here. Yay, we're clapping for you. I mean, because this is one of the best journey. This is one of the best decisions you've made. I mean, I would say that I should say that this is one of the first decisions you've also made in the year, knowing Tech for Dev, and also being excited about the work we do at Tech for Dev. So yes, back to Joy's question, what is the Women Techsters program? So the Women Techsters program is a free, maybe I should take it again. The Women Techsters program is a free technology upskilling experiential learning program. And this program is dedicated for women and young girls who are within the ages of 16 to 40 years across Africa. So of course, I use the word across Africa because we are coming. I mean, we are coming. We are building momentum. Last year, we were in 5 African countries, and this year we are in 15 African countries. So we are building momentum. Just in case you are wondering why the Women Techsters program, our sole aim and our goal is to bridge the technology knowledge divide between men and women within the technology ecosystem. I mean, you already know that there are lots of men in the tech industry, and it's high time women also show their, show that we can also do it as well. Statistics already show that when you empower one woman, you have as well empowered a whole community. So imagine if we empower 100 women, 5 million women. So yes, that's why we are doing what we do, to ensure that women have access to decent jobs and opportunities. I mean, women and girls as well. And so for us to be able to do this, we provide various degree of digital skills, tech skills, and also soft skills training on the Women Techsters program. So yeah, welcome on board and welcome to the Women Techsters program.
Thank you so much, Blessing. Thank you very much. I know you mentioned the countries we are in. Can you just call these countries out so they'll know if they stand a chance of applying?
All right, so we are in Nigeria, Ghana, Kenya, South Africa, Egypt, Ethiopia, Democratic Republic of Congo, Madagascar, South Sudan, Angola, Mozambique, and Morocco.
Thank you so much. So what are these courses that someone can enroll in? What are the learning tracks? Can you just tell us about them?
Okay, so before I go into the learning track, I would first of all like to say that last year we had 5 learning tracks. We had learning tracks in software development, product design, product management, cybersecurity, data science, and artificial intelligence. This year, one of the things Tech for Dev is committed to is we are committed to growing. We also understand that the technology ecosystem is evolving. And last year we got a shocker. Well, it was not a shocker, it was just a much needed change when Facebook changed from Facebook to Meta. And I mean, they opened our eyes to the need for a virtual world and how you can actually transact regardless of wherever you are. So yeah, so this year we are also evolving, and we have added 3 new courses to the 5 I've earlier mentioned. So we will be having mobile development. We'll also have training on blockchain, and the last is on mixed reality and then 3D animation. So that's including the 5 I mentioned earlier.
Thank you very much. Please, can you walk us through the step for the application? Because I know some people are here and they're wondering, first of all, what's the link to apply and what is there to expect when it's, because I know that a lot of them that have applied for the fellowship program, they want to know the next steps after the application stage.
All right, so I'll say that the first step is to apply. So if you have applied, you have done, let me say, 40% of the first step. So when you apply, there are basically 2 stages of the application process, or 3. Let me use the word 3. So the first stage is you applying, and then there will be a screening process. There will be a first screening process, after which there will be a second stage. In the second stage, you have to go through some assessments. You have to share like a video as to why you also want to apply, why you want to be on the program. And then there will be a final stage screening, where we probably will just go through what you have done and why it's important that we select you. Permit me to say at this junction that, in the last 48 hours or 24 hours, it's not up to 48 hours yet, we've received over 3,000 plus applications. And this is to say that I'm so excited that a lot of women are currently understanding the importance of tech. But there was a disclaimer where you were filling the form that we can only accommodate 3% of the total people that come on board. And this is because Tech for Dev is committed to in-depth learning. We do not just want to train everybody, just for the sake of the training. We also want to be connected to you. And so we would only be able to accommodate 3% of the entire people that apply. Also looking at the fact that the training is for free, and we are putting a lot of resources into it, a lot, from the facilitators to the learning materials, to the learning platform, to the job matching bit of the program. So there's a whole lot that's gone into it. And so we'll only be able to take 3% of the program, of people who apply on the program. So yes, if you've applied, you would have gotten a message at the time you pressed submit, you would have gotten a message that says that your application has been recorded. Yeah, so that's the first step. We already said that the application will run for a month, after which we would screen, and then just keep following us. You would always get feedback, on your application status.
Thank you so much, Blessing. So what are the basic prerequisites? What do they need for the fellowship program? What should every applicant need, like everyone that gets into the program need?
Okay, so I would say that the very first thing that you need is your determination to be on the program. The reason why I said determination to be on the program is that it's actually one thing maybe I should scratch that and say this, that getting on the program is also not a guarantee that you will graduate on the program. I think it was very important that I said so. Getting on the program is not a guarantee, because there are lots of things that would go into it. So yeah, this is what I mean. When you get on the program, or the basic requirement first is your determination. For every time we give you an assessment, even from the screening process, we always expect that you put your best foot forward. Don't just submit the application for the sake of submitting the application. Submit it. Always remember that there will be only 3% will be selected. Always have that at the back of your mind, so that you'd always put your best foot forward. So we need your determination, we need your commitment. If you have prior knowledge, prior digital skill knowledge, that would be great. That might be an addition. But if you do not have a prior knowledge, don't give up. What is important is that you have the determination, to go on the program. And this is also because the program is very rigorous. Aside from the fact that you need to commit 4 hours of your time every day, that's Monday to Friday. You also have like take-home assignments, you have group projects, you have personal projects that you'll be working on. And of course, it's also, I should say that the fellowship is a 1-year program. So you have 6 months of intense learning, and then you have 6 months of internship. Of course, internship, they are paid internship, or internship with stipend. Let me use the word. Let me use for better put, internship with stipend, and there are various forms of the internship. There's hybrid, there is virtual, there's in-person, also. So first thing first is you putting your best foot forward, being determined to learn, because even though you are learning something for the first time, or you are coming across something for the very first time, it is very important that you are committed to whatever it is you are learning. Assessments will always be given part time. Attendance will be taken part time, even though the class is virtual. There are a lot of mechanisms that are put in place to also ensure that you are learning and you're also getting value, for everything that you do. Also because right now we have, over our work in the past, we have been able to build strategic partnerships with organizations, and they are willing to take you up for internship. And of course, that for them is a brand, an amazing brand you want to associate with. So give it your best shot at all time. Thank you, Joy.
Thank you so much, Blessing. So is this fellowship on site? There are questions, a couple of questions have been coming up, like what's the proximity from my place? How do I get to this? Like for someone in Tanzania, do I need to come down to Nigeria?
So it's actually a virtual training. The training is virtual. The internship, I already mentioned that the internship are in 3 categories. Depending on how we're able to place you at that time. Internship can be virtual, it can be in person, like you're working from a site, or it could also be an hybrid. Could it be hybrid? So, but then the training is virtual, 6 months of virtual training.
Okay, thank you. So I would love to learn about, well, not me, some people in the audience may want to learn about the benefits of joining the fellowship program. What do they stand to gain in 1 year?
Oh yes, I'm excited about that one. So yes, what do you stand to gain from attending the Women Techsters Fellowship Program? First off is, permit me to use the word, you stand to enter into the oil well. You know, there's this common say right now that the new oil money is tech. So completing the fellowship program automatically, gives you access into the oil well. Of course, it's not like you plug the money on trees, but you also know that the 21st century future of work is technology. So you already have a skill set that will guide you in that direction. Aside from that, you get to meet other ladies across different countries of the world. And then you get to interact with them, you get to collaborate. I mean, part of what we do on the program is to also train you on soft skills. So it's beyond technical training. We have soft skills training on collaboration, on time management, on etiquette, on communicating online, on, problem solving. It's a whole lot. So you get to learn all of this. Aside from that, I talked about the resources as well. You get to mingle with amazing facilitators as well, who are open to giving you their time. Within the normal period of time and even outside of the classroom setting as well. And most importantly is that you get to be placed on internships. Part of our commitment as an organization is to ensure that people who come on our trainings are either placed within organizations or they start tech-enabled businesses as a result of the trainings that you get. So one of the things you stand to get to the fact that you are covered. For successful participants, I think I should say that for successful fellows, you are covered when it comes to job placement. And in the case where you have, in the case where you have a place you like to intern as well, we also go ahead to do our background check, place you with organizations that are not toxic, organizations that will help you to grow and also further your career. Thank you, Joy.
Thank you. So I'll just take two more questions from the ones I've curated in the FAQ, then I'll go to the questions from the audience. So what is the time commitment like in the fellowship program? How's the 1 year?
All right, so the first 1 year is divided into 6 months each. First 6 months is for training, while the last 6 months is for internship. The first 6 months, you'll be committed to learning you would have to commit 4 hours of your time every day, Monday to Friday, let me say minimum of 4 hours, because it's very important I use the word minimum of 4 hours per day, Monday to Friday. On some Saturday, you might need to collaborate with your team members. You might need to do assignments and the like. So for the first 6 months is intense learning, while the last 6 months is the job placement. I think I forgot to mention that one of the benefits you also get from being a part of the Women Techsters program is the mentorship opportunity that also come with it. Some of our fellows are actually paired with women who are doing well in tech. So you get to learn, you get to interact with them, you get to ask questions part time. And in the case where you are thinking of, courses you should take, how do you keep growing within the career space you find yourself or the learning track, you get to interact with that particular mentor as well. So yeah, 6 months of intense training, virtual intense training, and then 6 months of internship as well. And then also within the 6 months of intense training, because Tech for Dev is very big on community development, we are an impact-driven organization, and we are very big at giving back to communities. So part of what you'll be doing as well is community social work. We would expect that you identify a community in your country, and then you need to either have a physical meetup with them, or you do a virtual activity. So depending, if you come into the organization, if you come into the program rather, you get to learn more about the things that we expect you to do in the course of the 1 year.
I think you should talk about the meet and greet as well, because I know there's some of them.
Yeah.
That's important.
Like I already said, thanks, Joy. Like I already said, Tech for Dev is that organization that is really, really committed to ensuring that you learn. And part of what we also do is to organize meet and greets, like hook up. So I'll give an example. We are currently in Nigeria, and there are some people who are outside of Lagos State, For example, you are based in Abuja, you are based in wherever. So what we usually do is that we plan a meet and greet in the respective countries where you get to interact. I mean, you meet all of the fellows, all of your fellows that you've been saying, hello, hello, who is this? Hello, can you hear me? Can you hear me? So you get to meet yourselves and you interact. You know, it's always an amazing time. So we also plan meet and greet, our hookup session. I mean, the video Joy played, if you joined us at the start of this meeting today, it was from the meet and greet we had in Lagos. And we also have meet and greet to cover up in South Africa, in Kenya, we are going to Ghana, and we are going to Egypt as well. So yeah, so the meet and greet is a major part of what we do as well, so that you can interact. You can also get to see the team members within Tech for Dev that is pulling out the magic as well. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Blessing. We want to know about the other programs under the Women Success Initiative. I know we've been talking about, because I know that not everyone will have this 1 year to commit. I know. And when you talk about the other programs, talk about the penalty of not committing fully to the training. Thank you.
All right, so let me start first by saying that we are grateful, I mean, and we're excited that you have applied for this program, and however, we won't be able to take 3%. So what happens to the other 97%? Oh yes, so the Women Techsters program, you know, has four other initiatives under its umbrella. You have number one, the Open Day. So you're already here. Open Day is one of the events that Women Techsters do. The idea of the Open Day, you already know, is for you to gain knowledge within the different fields. You know, also get to meet industry experts where they share their knowledge and experience with people who attend the program, attend these events like this. While the boot camp, so the boot camp is a 2-week program. You know, of course, fellowship is 1 year, while the boot camp is 2 weeks. What we do in the boot camp is same thing, but we just give, like, for people who do not have any knowledge at all, you get to learn any of the skills, I mean, any of the 8 skills that I've mentioned within 2 weeks. Even though it is 2 weeks, we also have a demo day, where, I mean, what the demo day is all about is at the end of the 2 weeks, or before the 2 weeks elapse, it's compulsory that all participants or all boosters, you know, look out for a problem that they will be solving. The problem is within the sustainable development goals, any of the goals, and then you come up with the lessons you've gotten. You know, you come up with how solutions around the technology-based solutions around. So you can also imagine that the 2 weeks is as intensive as the 1 year. You know, so however, for the boot camp, you know, we have the boot camp every month. So if you're unable to get into the fellowship program, you can target the boot camp. You can only attend the boot camp once. However, boosters can apply to the fellowship. If you have been on the fellowship program, you can only apply to the fellowship program once. Like, no, this is what I mean. If you were not selected, you can apply for the fellowship program again. But if you were selected, then you cannot apply for the fellowship program again. So before I continue, before I come back to the fellowship program, let me just talk about the masterclass. We have a masterclass. Now, the masterclass is targeted, is for people who are, you already have technology knowledge, you've been within the technology ecosystem between 1 to 2 years. And you probably, you know, of course, like I said, a lot of things are evolving and you want to learn new things. So what we do is that we bring an expert who comes to, you know, picks a particular learning track and then also picks a topic. So it's always like a 1 to 2 day program that we have bi-monthly. And then the last we have is the fellowship part. That's why you are here. So let me say this again. The fellowship is very free. However, you need to have a personalized device for you to be a part of the program. You also need to have a reliable internet connection. We will not be responsible for providing you with a laptop. We would also not be responsible for providing you with reliable internet to participate on the program. We would also not be responsible for paying for power for you, you know, because, I mean, the program is already free, you know. It's just important that you ensure you have all of this together to be able to participate. Now, if you're selected on the Women Techsters program and you default, yes, I mean, you are selected, you got on the program, and then over time, you just decided that, oh, I don't want to be a part of this program again. You default. This is what it is. You'll be automatically blacklisted from been a part of any of our, I mean, aside from the open day, you will not be able to participate in any of our other programs like the masterclass, the boot camps at all. And this is because they just reduce the chance of another woman, being in tech. So once again, if you know that you will not be able to put the time commitment required for this particular program, it is best that you you have a rethink, or you might want to commit to rather attending the bootcamp first to give you a drive as to what the fellowship program will be all about. So let me say this again: have a rethink, because there are consequences attached for not allowing another woman, get an opportunity to be a part of this program. Yes, so thank you, Joy.
Blessing, well done. I want to say thank you. You did a great job with the questions. They're so on point. So now I'm going to the questions that have been asked on the Q&A. And in case you have a question, please go to the Q&A. In 15 minutes time, we'll be rounding up this meeting. We'll not take too much of your time. So because it's really a special session, that's why I extended the time. Usually close by 6 p.m. WET. So please stay on the call for 15 more minutes and listen. So Nagla Mahmood is asking that she applied in this program. What are the next steps? I know you've already answered that, the admission criteria. She says her English is intermediate. Is this a problem or not? So that brings us to the question of the language for communication during the program. Please throw more light on that.
All right, thank you, Joy. I think that's a very important question to answer. So we will be having the training in, when it comes to language, we'll have focus in English, in Arabic, in Amharic, in Portuguese, in French. However, there's a clause to it. The training material will be in English. The training itself would most likely, so the training itself will be a blend of both English and the most prominent language in wherever country you reside in. However, the training material will be in English. The reason why the training material is in English is so that we can retain the content of what is currently there. Let me assure you that your facilitators or whoever will be facilitating you is a native of your country and understands the language. So in the case where there is a need for the facilitator to interpret in native language, then you get the opportunity to also learn. So I don't know if I answered that question, Joy.
Thank you so much, Blessing. So an anonymous attendee says that she heard that only 3% of women will get accepted for the fellowship at the end of the day. Isn't the acceptance rate a bit low, seeing as hundreds of applications will be coming in from more than 10 countries?
Okay, so I would say that the 3% is not low. I mean, looking at the number of applications we're expecting. So let's do the math together. If as at today, at the end of today, we have 4,000 applications, and the application is supposed to run for 30 days or 31 days. So it definitely means that every day we have 2,000 applications. So 2,000 times 30. Do the math, you divide. So only 3% of it. So you already know that that's actually a lot of numbers regardless, But every year we keep expanding our reach. So what you should know is that if you're unable to get in this year, you'll be able to get in. If you're unable to get in on the fellowship this year, you'll be able to get in next year. However, you might be able to get into the boot camp, because the boot camp runs for 2 weeks every month. So if you're not able to get in, for example, in April, you'll be able to get in May or June or July or September. I don't know if you understand what I mean. So yeah, for the fellowship, you'll only be able to do 3%. However, you can join the bootcamp.
Thank you. So Leah is asking, she says she's interested in learning data science and analytics. Are there two different courses, and how do I begin my transition into the tech field? Note, I'm currently a graphic designer. So she wants to know if data science and AI are two different courses.
Okay, so let me start with the second question of how do you begin your career? I would say that first off is the fact that you already showed interest into wanting to learn a career in tech. So what you can do first off is that you can start out with reading materials. You can start out with checking YouTube. Watch YouTube videos. That would help you a whole lot. Now, on our program, we'll be doing both data science and artificial intelligence, at the same, at a goal, because you actually need the two of them for you to be able to effectively problem solve. So, somehow they are interrelated. So that's one of the reasons why we put it together. And trust me, it's a very interesting course for you to take. So yeah, so I would advise that you might want to check out YouTube videos. So even if you do not get in on the Women Techsters Fellowship Program, at least you also get to get the knowledge that is attached to it. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Blessing. So before I
You're
continue,
welcome.
I see that, thank you. There's some questions going to the chat and we would be distracted, going back and forth. The questions I'm reading out are in the Q&A. On the bottom of your screen, you see a Q&A. I don't know how it's showing on your device, but look for the Q&A, drop your questions there, not on the chat so that your questions don't get lost. So Blessing, the next question is, I noticed that this program started yesterday. I think it's just so you could make them understand. This program started yesterday. I start today. This what is my fate. So I think this goes to the open day. It's just make a difference between both.
Okay, so the Women Techsters Fellowship Program and the open day, they are two different things. The open day is this is like the event you are currently in is an open day. What the open day event is all about is basically us bringing industry experts or people within the tech ecosystem, women within the tech ecosystems come and share their knowledge, experience. And in some cases, we also bring past fellows or people who have benefited from the Women Techsters program to share their experience on how they started and what they are presently doing. So this is not the fellowship program. This is just a session where you get to learn about tech, and also everything within the tech ecosystem. While the Women Techsters Fellowship is a 1-year-long program that happens on a learning platform, So if you applied yesterday, and let me say this to everybody, if you applied yesterday, the truth is that there's no preference for who registered first. However, we always advise that you register first so that procrastination does not allow you to even forget to register. Because I know that a lot of people will say that, oh, I have 1 month before the application deadline. Trust me, you might forget. A lot of things might pop up and you wouldn't, you find out like a day after the application have closed that you didn't register for it. So of course you have like a 1 month opportunity to register. We will review applications. We will review all applications when the deadline has closed. So please go out to start registering.
Thank you so much, Blessing. I'll just take 2 more questions in this session, and we definitely will keep answering these questions. We have subsequent questions sessions coming up. As long as you're following our social media handle, you will be in the know and you won't miss out from anything. So these sessions are called Ask Me Anything sessions. You'll be seeing us live online on our social media channels, and we'll be taking these questions and breaking them into pieces, live questions. So look out for that and ensure you're following us on social media. So Blessing, the last 2 questions, I'm going to select at random. So anonymous attendee is asking about the learning structure like. What is the learning structure like? Is it self-paced? Is it video trainings? And how much time is committed per day? Is it manageable while someone is working? Questions like that.
All right, so is it self-paced? No, it is not self-paced. Okay, it's not self-paced because I should say that the learning model we use is the ILT model, is the instructor-led training model. So it definitely means that you are going to be in class for the 4 hours. Like, it's not like a pre-recorded session. It's a session that is happening at the stipulated time. So yes, there's a facilitator that will be in class at that point in time. So you have to be in class to learn at that time. So it's not self-paced because it's not a recorded version. And then it's happening Monday to Friday. So let's say class starts, I'm just giving a random example that class starts at 10 a.m. WAT, and then you have to be in class for 4 hours. So you do the math. And so the question then boils down to, if I am working, will I be able to concentrate on the program? I'll be very honest with you. I do not think that it is advisable for anybody who wants to come on the fellowship program to have a job. No, like a job that will take your time at that. That learning time, that particular a major job that will take your time at that particular time, because it is very intensive, and also because from our bit, our end, as much as we think it's a virtual class, and I know that we've seen lots of videos that speaks to how people treat virtual activities, we actually have mechanisms that we put in place to ensure that you are following. So there are random attenders that are taken with the time not structured to you, because we also want to be sure that you are attending the classroom, you are attending the class rather. So imagine you're busy, how then? I mean, also because the moment you miss a point, there's a chance that you always drag the class behind. So if you really, really want to learn, I think you should just commit your time to it. I don't know if any of you saw the video that was posted yesterday on Tech for Dev's page about somebody who is in cyber, she's a fellow that will be graduating soon. She's in the class of 2022. She had to quit her job, to come on the program. Of course, I know some people will think about, how do you expect me to fit for myself? If you think about the fact that this is going to pave like an open door for you, to get better opportunities within the tech ecosystem, I mean, it's your choice to decide on how you want to do it. But if you have a job right now, I honestly do not think you might be able to complete the fellowship program, because it is 1 year of undevoted time. However, for the bootcamp, you can give it a try, because I know sometimes last year we had a session that was dedicated for working class people. I mean, we had like an evening session or so. So yes, the bootcamp might just be your best and not the fellowship program, because the fellowship program is very intense. And on the fellowship program, there is an opportunity for internship placement. However, on the bootcamp, there's no internship placement. However, I remember last year that there was a particular person who went on the fellowship program rather, and because of what she learned and the design she built, she's in product design learning track. One of our partners, Prunage, were so impressed about a 2-week learning, and they offered an internship opportunity on the spot. So, I mean, these are testimonies that we've had. So, yeah, if you have a job, bootcamp might be your best bet.
I think you should also mention that for those that are schooling too, actually when you are in the early stages of your undergraduate.
Of course. If you're also in school, especially if you are in your first year, your second year, your third year, and you are not, or even the fourth year, whatever year, and you don't have flexibility with your time, you just might not be able to cope with it. That's the honest truth. And I mean, it's something that requires, it's at the time when you might be in class. Do you understand? You might be in class within the time when the training is going, because we also consider our fellowship as a school. We consider most of our Techsters program is school. So if you have something that is really, really going to take your time, I don't think you might be able to cope. But of course, the bootcamp is always your best bet for a start. I mean, because even when the bootcamp starts, let me give a disclaimer to it. Even when the bootcamp starts, it is important that you also commit like 4 hours of your time too. But of course, it's for 2 weeks, so you can always plan around. You can always schedule yourself to say, oh, I want to apply for the bootcamp coming up in July. I might be on break at that point in time. You can always schedule your activities. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Blessing. For want of time, we won't be able to take much questions, but you've done an amazing job answering the questions. I believe that majority of the most common questions have been answered. And for those of you who still have unanswered questions, do not worry. We'll be having Ask Me Anything sessions on social media, like follow us on social media. So to further give the announcements and give you more information about our social media, our communications associates on the call, Oluwatoyin Akonde, I'm going to hand over to you now to just make the announcement, and then we'll call it a day. So please stay tuned for the announcement. Toyin. Oluwatoyin, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Hi, Joy. Hi.
Hello.
Good afternoon, everyone, or good evening. Right, I trust that we had an amazing session and that we have learned a lot. And for the intending fellows, I'm sure that you're as excited as we are about the application process. So yeah, just to run through what they've said, right? We have the fellowship going on, and the fellowship is a 12-month intensive program, right? 6 months internship and 6 months training period. Very important to also note that the training, the internship is a paid internship opportunity. So you are, so while you're interning, you're also learning, right? Also, it's very important that you're following us on all social media platforms, because how else will you get information if you're not following us, really? Right? So it's important that you are up to date with what we're rolling out part-time, because we have a lot of opportunities. We're a women-focused organization, right? And we're very much committed to ensuring that women get into the tech space, women have access to great opportunities, are able to upskill themselves, right? And able to fend for themselves. So the best place to get these opportunities or learn about what we're doing part-time is to be following us on social media platforms, right? And so before we go, I will be dropping all our social media handles. Kindly, click on any of the links and ensure that you follow us, right? Or you can just type in Tech for Dev on any social media platform. It will pop it up. It's also very important that you share these opportunities with women around you. So beyond just personal development, right, we are also very focused on helping out in communities, right? So once one person goes through our program and is able to scale through successfully, we expect that that person shares with with our own community, such that her sisters are able to benefit, her friends are able to benefit, her family members, church members, colleagues, just people around. So the aim is that you as the first person benefits, then you reach out to 5 other people, and the 5 other people reach out to 5 other people, and at the end of the day, at the end of 10 years, we are able to get to our 10 million 5 million women, right, at the end of 2023. So it's a collaborative process between us at Tech for Dev and you as the beneficiaries, right? I think that will be all. Joy, over to you. Hi, Joy. Hi, Joy.
All right, so Joy is, I don't know if Joy is here, but I think that I want to quickly mention something. So just in case you have questions around if we have programs tailored for men and boys, permit me to use that. I would say that, yes, Tech for Them, as much as the Women Techsters program is solely for women. However, we have other programs that people other genders might be able to benefit from. So if you check our social media pages, you will always be informed about our new programs and upcoming programs as well. So yes, if you have people who would like to participate in our program but are not female, you can always tell them to check our social media platforms regularly. So yes, somebody also asked a question about if we're going to inform everyone about the status of the application. Oh yes, after we're done screening, we would inform people who are selected, and we would also inform people who unfortunately are not able to come on the program at this time. But of course, we hope that you'll be able to be a part of our program in the coming years. Oh yes, so thank you everyone. From our end, we are done. We have other another Q&A session. So please go ahead, follow us on our social media and inform other women who are not here or who have not joined us yet. Thank you everyone for joining us tonight. We sincerely apologize for the delay and the extra time that we spent on this program today. We hope to have you again join our live session scheduled for sometimes next week and next. All right, so we have a video to play. Please watch the video before you go. Don't be in the haste to go. All right.